Good morning, dear friends. This is Wasima Isra. Hope you are doing great. I'm coming in today to share with you my best tarot books for beginners. But of course, these books are not only for beginners, they are for all levels because I consider we are always learning and we forget, of course. We have so many things to, manage in our daily life. So it's so good to go back to these books sometimes to get inspiration or maybe learn about something new. Just to remind you about my work, I'm an author and I'm a publisher. You can find many oracle decks and tarot decks in my shop coremagic.com. I'm also the initiator of the Temple of Roses, where we teach about the medicine of roses and other plants. So if you want to check that in the links below. All right, so I will start first with, of course, one of the best teachers that are out there, which is Mary Greer. I have met Mary Greer in some tarot conferences, and I was amazed by her workshops. Very practical, at the same time touching a bit the psychology. Actually, she wrote a book about Jung. I think it would be really nice to get that one. But Tarot for Yourself is a very, very interesting book for beginners. It's a workbook, so you can write inside, you can explore different spreads, you have spaces where you can dive deep. And what I really love about this book is the methodology and the step by step that Mary has put in the book. It's very, very interesting also because it goes from the personal introspection side, learning about your date of birth, learning about your relations, your emotions, and things like that. But also, it touches a spiritual aspect. When we talk about the tree of life, there is this spiritual. If that's something that interests you, you can dive in deep. The next book that is one of the, of course, another one of the best teachers out there, which is Rachel Pollack, and readers, because Mary Greer and Rachel Pollack are considered one of the classics, one of the majors, the mentors, I would say, in the tarot community, because they have brought so much to tarot practice. They have put it into another level. They have pushed it. And I'm really grateful for their work and for making this available through these books, because we can't go all to meet them, and see them all the time in conferences and things like that. So Rachel Pollack has written many books, but for beginners, I have this one which is in French, but you can find it. It's called The Bible of Tarot, I think. It's I would say, number one, and this one is I consider it number two. 78 Degrees of Wisdom. So the thing about I so they have different style. Mary has a style of psychotherapy, really going into like step by step. I feel Rachel has a very direct to the point style, and she has a lot of historical background. She brings that a lot into her books, and that's really great, especially in the Bible of Tarot. I think you will find the same kind of layout. I'm not sure, but I invite you to check that. But she brings these the Marseille, the Rider-Waite, and other type of tarot decks into the exploration of each card, which makes it really rich. And it's kind of a different way of reading than what I do, but it's nice to have a different perspective. So let's say, for example, the 9, which is the card of joy, and it's interesting to see how Rachel brings that into meaning. Let's see. Yeah, and reversed meanings also. I don't use reversals for all the cards, but yeah. Anyway, I don't think I will dive deep right now for for this book. But uh, yeah, I already wrote in that book. I have this habit of writing in books, which I don't think it's the good thing, but anyway, this is my way of memorizing and interacting with the book. All right, let's. Yeah, I need to be quick because I have so many books. Marcus Katz and Tali Goodwin. Okay, this is really really nice book that will introduce you to some to the symbology and the hidden aspect in some cards. Um, the authors have written other books that are amazing for beginners. I invite you to check their work because it's really I feel it's underrated, the work they did, and it deserves more to be seen and read because it's an addition. It's it brings more into the tarot practice, and also it is practical. This is something I really enjoy about these authors. So see, for example, the emperor. You will have like a meaning, and there is like some history. Also, they bring some historical facts in this, and then you have the key symbols, and then in reading what it means, keywords, the Coleman Smith, because she's the artist, and how she contributed to this card and what inspired her. This I find it really interesting. And then a reading tip. And it's really, really, really interesting. I learned a lot, and I'm still learning. When I have a card that I want to dive deep in, I bring this. I bring this book because I always find something to add or to learn. Um, they also let me see at the end. You will find where is it? Ah, this was as timing. This is something that we have to take into account when we do reading. Palmela music. I didn't read that section yet, but where is the thing that I am looking for? Give me a second, I forgot. How to read tarot, yes. Okay. I wanted to show you this part because they talk about Pamela, sorry, not Pamela, Pamela Coleman, and I find it interesting to bring her because her contribution to the creation of the Rider-Waite is immense, and from her story, I came to know that actually, Rider-Waite has brought the the inspirations from the Goldman, from the Golden Dawn, sorry, from the Golden Dawn Society, and then Pamela, sorry, Pamela has contributed to the work by, here we go, Pamela's art and influence. I love this. I love this part. So she brought a lot into this deck, especially in the minors. And I talk about all this part. I love it. I really love it. You learn many things about the the creators. We are using their decks in a way, and it's important to learn more. Okay, let's go. All right. Another mention, Power Tarot. I hope it's still in print because there we go. I hope it's still in print because it's really nice, easy deck to use, and it has a lot of spreads. A lot of spreads because this is if you're a beginner, spreads will help you a lot to understand the meaning of each card in its position. Even for advanced practitioners, I saw them using spreads, and it's really it's important because it puts a structure into your cards. Some people also in reading. I do that too. I lay out cards without really a spread in mind. I love spreads, but sometimes I do it without spreads and just continue the story or tell the story that is in the cards and channel through them. So, but spreads is important. I feel it's important. I saw the difference it makes when we use them in readings for beginners. So I love this book because on the one side you find the meanings, so you don't need the books of the cards. You know, some cards come with a really tiny little white book, and this one gives you a complete meaning. And by card, you see, for example, the tower. You have the in reading what it means. You have it in finance, health, spirituality, and I think relations. Yeah, romance also. And yeah, it's a really smallish book, very nice to carry if you are going out or doing practice somewhere. I also advise people, for example, for our groups, we meet in a cafe and we do these practices. And I find it interesting to um, merge your activity with pleasure, which means have a good chocolate. I love chocolate. Have a good tea and sit with your cards and spend some time, quality time with your cards and with yourself and with that tea or chocolate you have. Your study of tarot does not need to be difficult and 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 hurtful and only on the mind. You have to release the tension and enjoy the process and be patient with yourself and with your practice. So yeah, so this one is really one of the best books I would suggest. Another one, and I'm sure those who are in the tarot community know about Christiana Godet. She is an amazing tarot reader. I had many sessions with her, and she wrote a book. Actually, two books, I think. This one is one of her books, Tarot Tour Guide. Very good, very good, very good for beginners and also for those who are into dynamic, understanding the dynamic of the cards. She talks about the elements, the four elements. She let me show you just how it goes because I find it really interesting. So clues for beginners, how to use a tarot journal, magic. She talks about tarot altar, meditations, and then she explores the major arcana. And then after that, she talks about the different methods of reading the cards, um, reversals. She talks really about what's the questions, all the questions we get as a beginner. Do we read reversals? I get intuitive hints when I'm reading. Should I trust them? Is it my mind? Is it my imagination? It's really, it gathers all the things that we get through. I love also this exploration of the elements she does because, the suits are separated into the four elements, and she goes on that. It's very different approach, and I find it interesting to get another entrance in a way to tarot. Always start with the majors, but it's really interesting to start with the elements if that's something that speaks to you. Really nice book. Okay. One other really good book, and I forgot another one. All right. So, okay, this one. Spiritual Tarot. Let me tell you, this is one of the best books for me, to be honest. And you see how many things I have here. One of the best books in tarot practice. I can give you a lot of good books, a lot of nice, but this one for me is the best for now, because it speaks to my soul. It speaks about not only personal development, spiritual development, and it works. It brings three decks at the same time. It talks. I mean, you will find the Aquarian, which is one of my favorite tarot decks, the Rider Waite, and the Greer. What's the name of this one? I don't have it. I don't have that deck. The Morgan Greer, yes, the Morgan Greer deck. So it talks about three tarot decks at the same time, which is an amazing thing for beginners because you get to see how every tarot deck brings a different image or a perspective that is, that can lead your reading into a different way, a different path. So the same card, but different meanings that complete each other's. And also, many authors, which is in itself brings richness, brings a lot of content to the meaning of each card. So I don't know what to tell you about this book, but really, it's a good book. It's a really good book. The other thing that I like, they also share some, layouts, some spreads at the end, and they explain what it is in it, like deeply. At the same time, for the spreads, I prefer by far the Power Tarot. So, yeah. But this one for the meanings. And here you can find how they interpret the cards in readings, which gives you an example. Yeah, I feel this. I'm just like thinking like, oh, it's been a long time. I didn't get it out. I didn't explore the cards. So yeah, very good, very good one. Okay, let's continue. And I have okay. I will show you two last books. How many books did I share with you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and let me maybe share a 10ish one. um, mm, yeah, let's share 10 books, okay? All right, so we have 3 left. Going to the same style of spreads, as I talked about spreads and their importance. This one by Barbara Moore. Barbara Moore is also one of the classic writers in tarot community. She made many tarot decks with artists, and she's a classic. So you might find this book really interesting, as it teaches you how to create spreads. She doesn't only show you the spreads that like, she doesn't show you only spreads you can make, you can do, but also how to make them. I hope I'm clear. I got lost in my things. Yeah, so I find it really interesting how she created these and the dynamic, because I won't go into spreads for now, but just to give you a hint, the spreads show your belief system. The spread shows what is it that you want to know, what is it really important for the person you are meeting to know, and also it allows you to see the black spots, or how to say the hidden spots, because sometimes we lay out cards, but it's important sometimes to just say, okay, what I didn't see in this tarot deck, that tarot spread, what is the missing point that I didn't see? What is the affirmation that I can give to my client so that she can go and practice and this affirmation every day and feels a little bit more empowered? what is the hidden aspect, always the hidden aspect of a reading, the hidden aspect of this intention. So there are these questions, show your system, your belief system, and also allows you to widen the reading. So if you're a beginner, I really suggest to learn about spreads, and this one is a good one for that. Now I'm going to get the two last ones. Of course, of course. Nancy Antenucci, I have did a small course about how to develop your psychic abilities with tarot, and I'm re-offering it at the moment if you want to check it out. It's divided into two sections. So the first section is develop your abilities. It's an online course through 21 days. And there is the second part that is personal meetings with me in a group physically for now, where we go deeper into the practice and I answer questions and we do a lot of practice. So this book is the basis for the training. I have asked Nancy, I think it was 3 years ago, about her authorization, and she agreed. And she's really a nice person and very interesting, very interesting person. Through her books, she talks about the psychic abilities, the psychic abilities. She talks about your intuition, how to trust the guidances you get. She gives some basic tools, grounding, the intention, and so on. It's a very nice book if you are into intuitive reading, if you want to use tarot as a basis or as a ground to travel and get insights for your clients. And it's one of the rare books in this field. People talk about intuitive tarot reading and things like that, but you have to have some basics. It's like energy work. Energy work, you just don't. You have to have basics about grounding, how to deal with energy, what you see, what you don't see. There are some things that we don't know, the other side, and I have written a book about that, the psychic self-defense kit, because the the world is filled with things that even if we don't see, they exist, and we have to protect ourselves and protect the others that we are doing the reading or the healing session for. So this is a really, really good book in that regard. And I will finish with my own book, which is the 365-day challenge, because it's really for busy souls and for beginners, because not all of us have time to do readings, and I understand that totally. But with this book, you have 365 challenge questions to explore per day, and they can be short, they can be long, it depends on your own time. And in this book, I help you to explore actually the difference between tarot and oracles, how to remove your stereotypes in order to read the tarot cards. There are so many stereotypes. I teach you also how to meet with your tarot deck and to have a relationship with it in 21 days. And I also help you to discover other areas. You can do readings about anything in the world, including your addictions, your chakras, your energy, your relationships. And I added some challenges here about Lady Diana, about even some tarot decks, tarot cards like the Tower, the Devil, the Star. And we have also some challenges with the Payadini tarot deck in Japan and so on. So it's really a book that has variety, and also to get out of the box in order to develop your creativity and to discover new topics in the world. Discover, widen your perspective. about the word. And it comes also for with this one is for mystics, but for beginners, I suggest this one. If you want to dive deep, well, the Tarot for Mystics is the one to go, because it helps you to explore the basics of spiritual practice, and then learn more about your constitution, your energy bodies. You can also develop your creativity, explore your book of shadows and book of light. So yeah, I really did these books for those who love tarot but don't know what to do with or how to dive in. So I think and I hope that these will help you in this relationship you have. So yeah, we talked a lot today about the best tarot books. I hope I was concise. I try to, because these books are amazing. And there, you will always have more things to learn about tarot. So be patient with yourself. And just tell yourself that tarot is a whole life practice. We never stop learning. We never. I was talking with one of my partners that organizes with me the groups, and she said, I've been practicing for like 11 years or more, and there's always still things to learn. And yes, that's the thing. Even if you are 20 years into the practice, there are always still things to learn. So have a beautiful day, and I talk to you soon.